Hi, welcome to Living Your Limitless Life. I'm Kayleigh Kennedy, business and mindset coach, mom, and your no BS guide to breaking through the stories holding you back. This podcast is your space to get real, get inspired, and get moving. Each week, I'll share the mindset shifts, strategies, and stories that have helped me and my clients build lives and businesses that feel as good as they look. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, you're in the right place. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to Living Your Limitless Life. I'm Kayleigh Kennedy, and we are continuing the series on beliefs that you are going to want to adopt and bring into 2026 with you. These beliefs are going to help make 2026 and beyond powerful and aligned and peaceful, and whatever your definition of success is, it's going to bring in that success into both your personal life and your business. It is not new year, new you. It is new year, upgraded belief system. So I am sharing some of my favorite beliefs that I've been adopting that have helped transform my life and my business. And I want to gift those to you. These are not just concepts. They are operating systems. They are operating systems for the way you run your business, the way you run your life, your energy, how you make decisions, how you approach your goals. So today I want to share 3 more beliefs with you. And these beliefs completely shifted the way that I work, the way that I lead, the way that I show up in my personal life, in my business. And they are beliefs and ideas that I come back to constantly and I'm constantly sharing with my clients, especially in the busiest or fullest or more challenging seasons of life and business. So let's dive in. The first belief I want to gift to you today is the idea that rest is a business strategy. We cannot, and let me emphasize this, we cannot run our business sustainably when we are burning ourselves out. Burnout is not a badge of honor. Busyness is not a badge of honor. I remember the first time I heard someone say that we walk around wearing busy like a badge of honor, and it really hit me. And I've intentionally chosen to, instead of say busy, I say full, or like busy, but in the best way. Like it just feels so good. But the perception of busyness that we're given in society isn't a busyness that feels good. It's a burnout busyness. It's an overwhelmed busyness. Exhaustion has become too many people's like programming. And hustling yourself into the ground is not required for success. I'm going to repeat that. Hustling and grinding yourself into the ground, into burnout, is not a requirement for success. There are going to be seasons in your life and your business where rest isn't optional, where it becomes essential, where if you don't take it, you're going to get sick or it's going to directly impact your business. When you build the self-awareness to start recognizing these seasons or recognizing when you yourself start to move towards one of these seasons, you can actually plan for them and support yourself through them and learn how to intentionally schedule time in to protect your peace. So this is something that I have worked really hard on to incorporate these habits into my day-to-day, removing guilt, removing stories, and just this is my operating system. This is now my operating system. And it took a while because I had programming that rest was lazy, especially when you had a to-do list. Like you get everything done and then you can rest. That is how I was programmed. And that is how a lot of people have been programmed. So here are a couple of the things that I do because this structure helps me. And I hope that some of these ideas help you. So every year I take at least two weekends. I call them CEO weekends, and they are completely solo weekends at my cottage. I know people who they'll get an Airbnb or a hotel or somewhere like physically removing yourself from your home or your office and your everyday environment and putting yourself into another space, another environment where there's just peace. I don't bring my kids. I don't schedule anything with my clients. There's no noise. It's me, my journal, sometimes some puzzles, some good books to read. And I plan these weekends around bigger seasons or when I'm planning a big launch. At the time of this episode release, I am just coming off of one of these weekends. These are game changing for me for my clarity, my creativity, and also my capacity. And I do a little bit of work, a little bit of vision planning, but just a lot of whatever I want, unscheduled and unstructured. Because it's also important. It's important to have structure and be super intentional, but it's also important to be strategic with unstructured time too. Another one of my strategies that I do pretty much every single day is every morning after the chaos of getting the kids up and out the door and 2 drop-offs, I take my dogs for a walk. And I do this before I tackle my to-do list. And I do this intentionally with no phone, no notifications, no podcast, no audiobook, no headsets, no AirPods, just me, my dogs, and nature. In order for me to start my day and be really intentional in the hours that I do work, this nervous system regulation is a non-negotiable. On days when I don't walk the dogs and when my husband is home and we can both tackle morning craziness, then I go to the gym. So I'm doing something for me before I even dive into that to-do list. Another thing that I do, and another thing that I've been witnessing my clients do more and more of, which completely lights me up, is I book days off after big events. So I've always done this to make sure that after a big launch, I have some space in my calendar to reset, after a big talk, after a big retreat. When I used to travel for work a lot, I would not schedule like the first flight out the next morning. I would intentionally schedule like a later flight so I could have a slower morning to ease into that, to integrate, especially after like a retreat or a conference. We need time to integrate. So you got to give yourself some space for that. When I used to work in corporate, so before my son was born, so over 6 years ago now, one of the things that I learned was after I took a vacation, I would always book that next working day from home. I worked in an environment, this is pre-COVID, where we were able to work from home a couple days a week. And what that allowed me to do was actually get through my inbox during working hours, so not going into my inbox before I actually like clocked in, but it would give me space without distractions to go through those lists. So these are still things that I do. If I'm away, I'll make sure that I don't have any client calls or calls booked for those mornings so that I can ease my way back into things instead of just rushing back into things. So these are some tools that if you run your own business or if you run a team, that I highly, highly recommend starting to use and implementing. And some of these you can do daily. Some of them are seasonally, and others I intentionally plan them during my years. I schedule me time during the week intentionally as well. So I'll book appointments for me. So this could be massages or doctor's appointments or anything during my work hour. I book those times during the day. So sometimes I will end a day before I have to pick up the kids with a massage or going to the chiropractor or something like that. Because my well-being is part of my work. The more I take care of myself, the better I show up for my clients and the better that I can serve. I've learned to say no more often, and I say no with ease, without any guilt. I think that's the biggest one, is being able to say no without carrying that guilt. And I really do choose to do things that light me up. I was having a conversation with my husband this morning about some plans, and I was saying there's a Santa Claus parade coming up that I really do want to take my kids to, because I love the magic of the season, but I do also know that I have a full day. So I said, like, let's just pencil it in and see how I feel. And if I still have the energy, we'll go. And if not, we won't. Like it's really no big deal. And he was saying, well, if you have a full day, maybe you should just rest. Well, I'll know based on my energy. I'll know whether we can do that or not. The old me would have just done it and not really tapped in and not really checked in with myself. The other thing is I'm also aware of um, some time, like intentional time off that I have coming up too. So I know that my cup is going to be filled. I won't do the thing if I know I don't have the energy to do it. But it's also really nice to know that 2 days later, I'm going to be spending a day at the spa. So, um, and I have no guilt about that either. I think we really are conditioned to believe that rest is a reward. Like you can rest when, but rest is not a reward. Rest is a strategy. Rest is what allows your ideas to flow, and it allows you to tap into your creativity, and it allows you to expand, your leadership to expand, and your capacity to expand. When you honor rest and you learn to tune into yourself to know when to rest, when to pause, when to push, you will elevate and so will your results. My first six-figure year didn't come from pushing harder. It actually came from resting more. It came from putting my values first. It actually came during the most challenging year of my life. And not because I pushed any harder, because I learned to be more intentional with my time. I had to honor my rest or I wouldn't have achieved those goals, and I wouldn't have been able to show up for my family the way that they needed me to. Rest is a strategy. Take it without any guilt. Okay, belief number 2. I love this one. There are no failures, only lessons. This belief will make you unstoppable. We make outcomes mean something to us, mean something about us. So if something doesn't go the way we expect it to go or want it to go, so many of us take that personally. But what if you started looking at those failures? And I don't even like using the word failures here, but those perceived failures, you started looking at them only through the lens of learning. You'll unlock a whole new level of confidence and resiliency in your business. Many entrepreneurs that I've met, especially, are perfectionists. And they get stuck in the fear of messing up, or the fear of being wrong, or the fear of what other people think, or the fear of not giving enough value, or the fear of not hitting their goals. If you haven't listened to my episode on releasing perfectionism, make a note to go back and do that, because it will help you shift this belief even deeper if this is resonating with you. But when your mindset is geared more towards lessons and looking at the lessons, everything shifts. You will show up more in your business, you'll experiment more, you'll experience more, you'll allow yourself to get more feedback, which is really the only way to begin to move to perfect something. You'll improve faster and you'll improve with more grace. You'll earn more. And the best part is you'll do it with more self-compassion. When I'm coaching my clients or doing sales trainings, one of the things that I will get my clients to do, and that I suggest everyone to do, is after you lose a sale, is actually reflect on, where did I lose control, or what could I have improved, or where do I feel like maybe it was in my presentation that I wasn't very strong, or how could I show up differently next time? And in reflecting this way, you'll actually earn more money from reflecting on the sales that you've lost than the sales that you've won. Because you're not going to reflect on, oh, what could I do better next time if you closed a sale? So you can do this with a failed launch, with a failed course, anything that just didn't hit the way or land the way that you expected it to land. I think what happens is we take a slower month or a dip or low enrollment or an idea that flopped to mean something about our worth or our ability. But if it's just feedback and what is this here to teach me? How can I improve this? And actually asking people for the feedback, because we aren't marketing to ourselves, we're marketing to other people. This is how you become agile and resilient and how you continue to evolve. You don't evolve when everything goes perfectly, and nothing is ever always going to go perfectly. You just need to learn how to learn quickly and and not allow fear to stop you from showing up. Belief number 3 for today is that you are exactly where you need to be. Even if it doesn't feel like it, even if things aren't going as planned, even if you're asking, like, why isn't this happening yet? Or why hasn't this happened yet? Or why isn't this happening right now? This belief is a hard one to adopt because it requires a lot of trust, deep trust in timing, trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in the journey, trust in the unfolding. There have been so many moments in my life and my business, especially when my son was sick, where I couldn't really understand why things were happening the way they were. I couldn't see that purpose. I couldn't see the lessons. I couldn't see the gifts because there was so much chaos and grief and heaviness. But on the other side, I get to see everything differently. My family's stronger. Our perspectives have shifted. Our appreciation for each other in life has deepened. Our priorities have realigned. We're brought closer together in ways that I could never have imagined that we needed to be brought together. And through that experience, I've found so much more purpose in my work and strength in my mission. And I found so much connection in advocacy. And I've been able to use my tools and my teachings to be able to support and connect with other families navigating childhood cancer. And my purpose prior to my son getting sick has just become deeper. It's become more of my calling. It's become what gets me up in the morning and gets me excited to do the work that I do and gets me excited to share the messages that I share on this podcast. I've always loved what I've done, but having used all of these tools through a lived experience, I know that it's my duty to share this. And it's so fulfilling to me. My favorite quote is Steve Jobs' quote, and it is that you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. So you might not be able to see the bigger picture right now because you're too close. You might not know how to zoom out yet, but just trust that the dots are connecting. Trust that the lessons are forming. Trust that you are actually being shaped and strengthened and prepared and positioned to welcome and receive everything that's meant for you, all of the goodness that's meant for you. If you look for the lessons and look for the gratitude in any circumstance or situation, you will find it if you look for it. And this belief is pure mindset. And it's one of the most powerful beliefs that you can carry, not just with you into 2026, but carry forward for your entire life. It will change everything. It has changed everything for me. So to wrap up, just imagine walking into 2026 with these beliefs: that rest fuels your results, that lessons build on your success, and that you are exactly where you need to be. If these are landing for you, if they feel like truth, if they feel like the version of you that you're stepping into, then I want to invite you into something that is going to help you anchor them even more fully. I am hosting a brand new 3-day online live self-sabotage detox. It is happening on December 29th, 30th, and 31st from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. EST, each day on Zoom, and doors are officially opening this coming Monday, December 15th. This is the end of year reset that you've been craving, because we are going to be really observing our limiting beliefs, our self-imposed blocks, our old identities, our old patterns, and all of the mental noise that has been weighing you down, some noise that you might not even be aware of yet. so that you can enter into 2026 with clarity, confidence, and energy and a completely upgraded mindset. You can join from anywhere in the world. Every session is going to be recorded. Replays are going to be sent daily. So even if you can't be on live or if you're going to miss one call, you will not miss out. You get lifetime access to the recordings. So if you want first access when doors open on Monday, make sure you're either following me on Instagram at the Kayleigh Kennedy, or you're on my email list and you can subscribe at kayleighkennedy.com, or download my Limitless Daily Routine in the show notes. That will also get you subscribed to my list and give you a whole bunch of other tools that you can bring forward with you. This workshop is going to change the way you think, the way you operate, the way you step into your next level, and I would just absolutely love to see you there. So until next time, I have a couple more beliefs coming your way next week. Until then, keep on living your limitless life.
Thanks for tuning in to Living Your Limitless Life. If you loved this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. It would mean the world to me. Plus, it helps more people find my show and we can create a bigger impact together. Until next time, keep dreaming big, taking bold action, and remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. See you next time.